like to do outside of your work?
This is an indirect answer about your hobbies or how is your lifestyle pattern.
What are your career aspirations?
Career aspiration is something what we have spoken in the past on what is your next 5-year plan. Similar to that is the career aspirations.
What type of work environment do you prefer? If an interviewer is asking,
How your work process arrives so that they will understand whether you are fitting to their culture.
so this kind of question is generally asked for the freshers. And how they need to address? Please give us your views because you're an industry expert. How would your teachers describe your performance?
This is actually testing your soft skills basically because in colleges and schools it is more about discipline, time management, behavioral skills, all that. So we are trying to understand your soft skills so that we understand how you perform with your boss or reporting manager when there is a conflict. Okay, so explain a situation where you got an appreciation or even a conflict you can explain wherein you resolved and then set things very right. Okay, that behavioral element is what we are trying to understand as a particular soft skill. So discover what are all your best soft skill and create a story in the past where you got appreciation with your lecturer or professor and give an answer of the outcome part of it. So say that okay, my professor gave a assignment to submit within 2 days, but what happened is due to personal reason I could not make within 2 days. The proactive step what I have told is I immediately called my lecturer and said this is my situation, can I get more time for one more day time. So that is a proactive step which I took, which many students hesitated to ask, where they struggled and pressurized themselves. But I made it a point talking to lecturer will make definitely a good sense and open for a discussion. So I took a proactive step, spoke to my lecturer and got one more day and submitted my assignment with a very successful expectations. And it was very appreciated that I came out with an open mind and then discuss. That's how you'll have to discuss and create a story rather than giving a fake answer, literature based answer which you study in. That will make more sense.
How do you answer this question? What do you like to do outside of your work?
This is an indirect answer about your hobbies or how is your lifestyle pattern. Okay, so combined with your personal elements as well and combined with your professional aspects as well. So when you say outside of work, it should be like something like, okay, I watch TV for 5 hours, or I do gambling, I do mobile games. All that you have to avoid because that is not proving yourself as a professional. So what we want for my organization is a professional where he has some good professional ethics, lifestyle, so that he's become a contributing factor for our organization. You should list out hobbies which is what you call, which is little more professional. Maybe traveling you can say as a professional thing, reading books, motivational books as a professional thing, and social media of course, but of course you tell about LinkedIn networking rather than Instagram, because that's what organization will like. Okay, so that way you combine your personal interest in a professional manner so that they are trying to understand your lifestyle even after your office job, what exactly as a disciplined person you are. That is what they are trying to understand. So professional list of hobbies, you make a list and then tell them this is what I like during my free hours or out of office hours, all that. Little one or two more thing you can add as a personal thing, but 60% you combine with a professional hobby. That's what my suggestion would be.
Whether a person is experienced or as a fresher, this question is generally added to identify certain things in a candidate. So, this question is also a little tricky. What type of work environment do you prefer? If an interviewer is asking, what answer would you suggest us, sir?
Okay, generally hiring manager wants to understand how he can manage. That's the intention behind this question. So whichever is a very honest answer, you are okay. Like some people will be good at individual contribution. Somebody will be very good at collaborating with a team, and then executing a project. So what is your plus point that you will have to discover and then tell how your work process arrives, so that they will understand whether you are fitting to their culture. Okay. So in a sales organization or a marketing organization, this element of proactiveness, leadership quality, outspoken element, communicating with the people is highly expected, because that is what your role is expected. Okay. But when you're going to a manufacturing setup, it's completely drastically changing. Okay, you will be given a production hours. Within that production hours, you'll have to create 10 products or 15 products. Okay, there you need not talk with any people around you, or that you have to keep working and then execute things. Okay, so you say your general pattern of working, so that they understand whether you're fitting to that culture. Okay, it's a question of the culture from the organization, which they are trying to understand your working style, and trying to understand whether you will be fitting to that particular culture or not. That's the simple element.
As a fresher, if this question is posed, how do we need to address this, sir? As an industry expert, please suggest us. What are your career aspirations?
Career aspiration is something what we have spoken in the past on what is your next 5 year plan. Similar to that is the career aspirations, where it should not be talked about your title, salary, and all that. It should be more specific to your skills which you want to achieve over a period of time, and what personal learning you are doing to achieve to that scalability is what they are trying to understand. So you should say your career aspiration that I want to become a software architect in next 5 years, for which I'm doing assignments, projects, and learning from Udemy, Coursera. A lot of networking elements. All this contributes to a particular career aspiration. So that clarity is what they are trying to understand. So you have to be more specific rather than a very generic answer that I want to be a team lead kind of answer. Okay, but tell them what is that you are working towards achieving that particular target title or a job. That also you have to tell, so that they understand that you are taking steps, okay, proactively. So that's what they are trying to understand when they ask career aspirations.
Even though a candidate has applied for a certain job, but still, this is a very tricky question which is often asked to the candidates. What is your dream job? Even though a candidate is a fresher or an experienced person, this question, which is very tricky, which is often asked to the candidates. What is your dream job? How would you address this, sir?
A dream job is a job, is not a job with a Google or a TCS or Infosys. So dream job is something where I'm relating to my passion and relevance to the job title. That's what a dream job comprised of. So you have to tell what I enjoy myself in a skill set or a what you call professional environment, whether I'm enjoying creative projects or learning to talk to new people, or I like to travel in terms of sales. That's what you will have to create a base for your passion, and tell them this is what my regular passion, where this particular job is giving option for that. Okay. So when you are entering into a sales executive job and you say, I don't like traveling and all that, that doesn't make sense. So you say, okay, I enjoy traveling. I enjoy visiting a lot of places, lot of new people, all that. And this particular job helps me to achieve this, because any which way I'll be traveling and meeting a lot of new people. So that's how my dream job is looking at, where I will be happy when I'll be doing this particular job. And this is my passion, where I always involve in creative campaigning, working with a different set of advertising models, all that. There you have to create a lot of, enthusiasm and energy level during the answering itself. Okay, so that they understand that you are more curious and more happy in the job, right? Because a lot of people join a job, but they are not happy. Okay, hope you will relate to that. Okay, just because of a salary and title, they'll work for a job, but they'll not be happy. But a dream job is something where it will make you happy, where you enjoy yourself. Okay. So that's what you have to relate with your passion and tell, okay, this job title especially relates to my passion, which is already there, where I'm like to do meeting a lot of people. That's why I'm happy with the sales job. That's how you have to relate to that particular job.
Being a fresher, most of the time they are asked these questions. But still, the freshers or even the experienced do find it very difficult in this particular question. What are the other companies are you interviewing with? If such a question is posed to a candidate, how they would address? Please.
It's a very tough and tricky question because they are trying to understand whether you will join this job or not, irrespective of the salary and title offered to you, and whether we are at a risk in giving you an offer letter. Because after ruling out offer letter, if you are not joining this company, then it becomes a risk element, and all my efforts is getting wasted. So they are trying to understand whether you are giving interviews with the competitors or a similar set of job which is not relevant. Okay, so be more cautious telling that, okay, I was giving interviews but I was not happy, but since you have a very good brand in this particular industry, I would like to go for this particular job comparing to another jobs. But industry wise, I like to be the part of e-commerce industry, so that I grow myself, because my passion is towards working in different campaigns with the e-commerce where it is growing larger way. So that's what you'll have to make out the answer rather than telling the straightforward answer, because see, nobody likes a straightforward answer. They just want what they are liking. Okay, interviews are all about that. We don't want your straightforwardness, soft skills and all that. We want somebody who's making contribution to our job title is what we are trying to understand. So create a story that resonates with a particular job, and at the same time don't become desperate. Okay, I want this job, give me this job, all that is not required. But you say, I'm giving interviews, but not like your company. It's a tier 2 startup company which I don't feel I will have much of contribution, but here with your company I will have more visibility and okay, what you call career growth. That is what you'll have to greet the company, appreciate the company in the answer.
Either a fresher or an experienced person, if this question is asked, how do you plan to achieve your career goals? What kind of answer do we need to give, sir?
They are trying to understand what all actionable steps you are trying to take it up proactively without any mentoring support and all that. So first thing is that they are trying to understand whether you are proactively taking steps in developing your upskilling part of it. Okay, so right now, apart from freshers, even a mid-career and leadership profile requires upskilling on a year-on-year basis so that they scale up to the next level and contribute to the technology and the innovations part of our business. Because more and more organization is developing into a business automation kind of a model where a lot of manual elements is being stopped. Okay, so that particular part they are trying to understand whether you are having any actionable steps and other, or you are a continuous learner is what they are trying to understand. So you tell them what are all actionable steps in terms of technology, understanding the business trends, and gathering some more knowledge or networking with the people. All that contributes to your entire career plan. So that steps what you are taking as special plans. That's what they are trying to understand. Now the technology part, you obviously have a lot more things available in YouTube, Google, and all that. You say specifically, I'm learning this particular technology to scale myself. Okay, business trends. There are a lot of networking opportunities are happening in and around the city. You say every weekend I'm as a passionate individual working professional, I go to this forum and then networking with people to understand the business trends. So these are all professional answers will make a lot of trust in you comparing with the other people where they may not have these kind of answers.
This kind of question, especially for the freshers, if it is posed, for example, what do you hope to accomplish within your first 90 days on this job? How do you address this, sir?
Firstly, we have to understand what is the expectation from the company. Is it a sales role or a IT job, or what is executed is what they have to understand. There is nothing wrong in asking question on what I may expected to achieve in first 3 months. So based on that, you try to answer. Oh, okay. So first thing, first 3 months will be very very crucial to a fresher like me, where I'm trying to understand the people, process, technology involved. But at the same time, I'll make extra efforts with my skills, which I have, like advanced skill, metrics, creating dashboards, all that. I have a lot of past experience in the creating the entire dashboard. Thereby, I'll put some extra efforts even after my office hours to achieve the productivity in the given timeline. That's what, because being a fresher, I don't have any other commitments, so I can make some extra efforts in learning new things, learning, trying to meet the people, and then achieving the a particular milestone is what you have to answer. That means like your extra effort is the key here, where they are trying to understand whether you will make the extra efforts in terms of Saturday, Sundays, or any late night hours, whether you are able to give that time is what they are trying to understand. That way you can articulate the answer.
So, this question, especially for the college students, if it is asked how they need to address this, kindly share your experience as an industry expert. How your parents and teachers want to see yourself in the next 5 years.
Okay, so parents and teachers may not come from the what you call the same industry background, so they will wish their children to earn more salary. That's the number one expectation from the parents or teacher, or a good title. Okay, but you as an individual, you should tell that I want to make my parents happy in a organization which is branded. Okay, it's not the company. Say a lot of, in general, if we talk about people will be happy, parents will be happy when some of their children is working with Infosys or TCS, where when they are talking to their social circle, they'll talk with the pride that my son is working in TCS, my daughter is working in Infosys, all that. But if somebody is working in a very tier 2 or unbranded company, they will try to hide the company name itself and then tell, okay, my guy is working in as an engineer in XYZ company. That's all. So as a child to my parent, I want my parents to be proud of my particular job in the next 5 years, so that I also scale up to their expectations and achieve their dream of making them pride in telling about myself on my own hard work in scaling up from a entry level to a good title down the line in 5 years. That becomes like a full stack developer or a software architect or a marketing manager in 5 years in a branded organizations like you, so that they feel pride about myself. That's how you'll have to articulate it.